If I gave you $10,000 today to invest in your business, most entrepreneurs would do the same thing. They spend it on ads, they spend it on content, they spend it on branding, they might even spend it on coaching. And almost all of them would skip the single investment that determines whether any of that works. Today, I want to talk about the number one thing you need to invest in as an entrepreneur if you actually want sustainable growth. And fair warning, this answer isn't flashy. It doesn't feel exciting, and it doesn't get talked about nearly enough. But it's the difference between building momentum and lighting money on fire. Before we dive in, if you're building a business, leading a team, or trying to scale without burning out, make sure you subscribe. This show is about how businesses actually work when the cameras are off. Welcome to Notebook of a COO. This isn't another business podcast. This is for operators, people who care less about hype and more about leverage. Less about vanity metrics and more about systems that compound. Today's episode is simple in concept but massive in impact. The number one thing you need to invest in as an entrepreneur is your website. Not the way most people think about it, not as a digital business card, not as something you get done once and forget. Your website is your core business asset, and most entrepreneurs are massively underinvested in it. Here's the tension I see over and over again. Entrepreneurs complain about ads being expensive, leads being inconsistent, sales cycles being slow, conversions being low, and their solution is always more. More ads, more content, more platforms, more spend. But no one stops to ask the uncomfortable question, what happens when someone actually finds me? Because if your website is hard to find, poorly ranked, confusing, slow, unclear about what you do, or not aligned with how people search, then every dollar you spend elsewhere is just compensating for that weakness. You're not scaling, you're patching leaks. Let's break this down using an operator's lens. Your website does 3 jobs, always. If it fails at any one of these, your growth stalls. 1. Findability, SEO, and keywords. If people can't find you organically, you're already losing. SEO isn't about gaming Google. It's about alignment. Alignment between what you do, what people search for, and how clearly your site communicates that value. Most websites rank for nothing meaningful. They target broad keywords, generic phrases, or worse, industry jargon no customer actually types. If your website doesn't rank for high-intent keywords specific to your services, you don't own demand. You rent it. 2. Clarity, messaging, and structure. When someone lands on your site, they should know in 5 seconds who you help, what problem you solve, how you solve it, and what to do next. Most websites fail here. They're built for the owner's ego, not the buyer's brain. Clarity beats clever, every time. A clear website doesn't convince, it removes friction. 3. Conversion, trust, flow, proof. Traffic without conversion is just noise. Your website must build trust, reduce uncertainty, answer objections before they're asked. This includes structure, layout, copy, speed, calls to action, and proof. Your website is your best salesperson, working 24/7, unpaid. If it's bad at its job, everything downstream suffers. Now let's talk about paid marketing. PPC is not bad. But PPC without strong organic traffic is brutally expensive. Here's why. When your website lacks SEO, you don't get free compounding traffic. You're forced to buy every click. Your cost per lead skyrockets. Your cost per acquisition explodes. Paid ads are supposed to amplify momentum, not replace it. If your organic presence is weak, ads are just making up for the gap. You're paying to be visible instead of earning visibility. That's not leverage, that's dependency. This is where most entrepreneurs miss the bigger picture. A strong website lowers CAC, improves conversion rates, shortens sales cycles, makes ads cheaper, increases trust instantly, and compounds over time. It's measurable, repeatable, and scalable. That's why operators obsess over it, because unlike ads, your website doesn't turn off when the budget stops. If you remember one thing from this episode, let it be this. Your website is not a cost, it's an asset. And assets deserve investment, not once, continuously, because every channel you build, every ad you run, every piece of content you publish leads back to one place. If that place is weak, everything else struggles. If you're an entrepreneur wondering why growth feels harder than it should, look at your website through an operator's lens. Is it easy to find, easy to understand, easy to trust, easy to act on? If not, you found your bottleneck, and fixing that changes everything. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.